Howdy, howdy. Man, it's good to see you. I am so glad you stopped by again. You caught me working on Mr. E here, but as you can tell by the title of this episode, oh, you didn't see it? Okay. I'm going to be working on Mr. F today. To try to get just some wiring plugged in and hopefully, I want to get a VIN number assigned and plates for it, which you don't have to come for that. But then we'll start trying to put a few of the last things together. Actually, let's walk over to the little table over here. I just want to show you something real quick. You know, I hate that we're just diving right in. I guess this doesn't have to be all about me. How are you doing? Good, all right? Yeah? Well, what have you been up to? Okay, sure. All right, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, you know, it could be worse. Yeah, glad you're here though. Great, okay. Are you done? Let's talk about me again. Yes, I was listening. Okay, let's walk over here and see, just take a look at something real quick. Speaking about finishing Mr. F, and then we'll just dive in. We'll go from there. All right, let's go. Yeah, I was totally paying attention. All right, so what we got here, well, actually, I don't even need to show you anything in the book because it's not in the book, okay? So these wind wings are, they're an optional thing. They go on either side of the windshield to try to direct wind away from the passenger and driver, which makes sense. That's why I wanted them. So I downloaded directions for it, and my printer, of course, wasn't working, so the words part of the directions, it's working now, but it wasn't when I printed this out. So they have you assembling brackets on the wings themselves, okay, so you can see that kind of ish looks the same-ish, but it's not quite the same. So I'm pretty sure I got the wrong directions, but you know, I've got kind of the pieces, but not really, because I also have this. So if you look at how this style goes on, it just clamps directly to the side of the windshield. It just clamps on there, okay? Maybe that style, maybe they come loose and they fall off and that's why they don't do it anymore. But from what I can tell here, what they want you to do is they want you to drill, well, essentially 4 holes, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, with this little bracket, and then their new piece clips on there, like that. I don't know what the heck difference that is in comparison to that. It's still clamping, but that's the design. I sure don't want to drill and tap 4 holes. I don't want to do it, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to. So, not super happy, mainly I think because it's causing me more work than I wanted to do, and also drilling and tapping is fraught with danger, especially in the window frame. Anyway, I was just going to show you that. So I am not going to put the wind wings on before I start driving the car. I'm going to think about it a bit while I drive the car. I do want them on. It's just, I just have to decide when I'm ready to start drilling and tapping. When I'm ready to accept the truth and just do it, okay? I'm still in denial. So I'm gonna live there for a while and then we'll figure it out after that. All right, yeah, I'm gonna take the tires off, take the wheels off the Cobra and start in. So let's do it. I'm glad you're here. Figured I'd get you up under here since we haven't actually looked around for a while since, you know, it hasn't been back. So I don't know why I had to explain all that. We're all on the same page here. The over-explainer, yeah. Okay, so I've attached all of my, you know, lights, all the wires and harnesses. Everything's working, except my turn signals are a little wonky, and I think that is due to the LED. I do have an LED, if you remember, flasher, but maybe it's the incorrect one or whatever. So I'll have to check on that. Another interesting thing to note as we go up under here is, if you remember, I had on the Mustang, I had some sort of rear main leak going on. And so I replaced the rear main seal of the engine out, put it back in, and it seemed to leak still. Since the car came back from paint, it's not leaking. I did take it on that drive, warmed it up really good, probably for the first time. But I've got no drips. And everywhere that I've parked it in the shop, there's no drips. So we'll see if that holds. If that's the case, you know, we have the first instance of self-healing car. So it's a miracle. I got the side pipes tightened up. There where they go. Something else. Oh, when I was taking the wheels off, so it didn't really, before I sent it off to paint, I had torqued all the lugs down properly and everything. It didn't really, I didn't really think about it, but they probably took the wheels off doing body work at some point, because when I just went to pull them off now, I mean, they were mildly tight. I mean, they all were snugged, but they weren't tight. And I took it for a rip out here, and well, boys and girls, let that be a lesson to you from your Uncle Eric. always double check things when you get the car back from somewhere, because, you know, you don't want your wheels falling off. Anyway, no harm done. We're all good. What else? That's it. I just wanted to take a look at it. You know, I figured, why not? We're here. It's up in the air. So I'm going to drop it down now and start working on that front. Actually, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what the scoop is on the scoop, so to speak. Let me get the car down. I feel like I was going to tell you something. Oh, yeah. I spent half of today getting Mr. F VIN number signed to him. So I have a VIN number, and I have a license plate, and I have insurance from my insurance company, which ends up being like $21 a month. I crossed it with Haggerty Insurance, for those of you who know and care, and it was the same. So I just went with my carrier. So happens to be State Farm in my case. I know every state is different. Even State Farm, I had an issue with them years ago when I lived in Texas. I had State Farm forever. Went to Texas, had one very minor claim, and they dropped me. So I think it was a Texas thing. And so now I'm back with them years later. I mean, I've been with them for years, but I'm back with them, and, you know, whatever. It's fine. It's not a plug for State Farm, because there are a lot of insurance companies out there that do good things for their customers, for those of us who, by law, are forced to buy the policy they sell. So I wish that somebody out there was forced by law to buy something I'm selling. I don't really wish that. I think I'd feel bad selling it to them, but you know, whatever. It's the world we live in. So whether it's a good idea to have something or not, and the debate is out there. We're not starting a debate here. I'm just making an observation. I want to have insurance. It's good. Protects me, protects the people around me. It's perfect. But, you know, maybe I just don't like being told what to do. Maybe that's that. Well, just ask my wife. She will confirm that. I don't like to be told what to do. I will sometimes not do it just because. We're all a little silly. Just think about it. I'm sure you can point to something in your own self. Anyway, moving on. Let me put this down, and I'll just real quick go into what I'm immediately facing, and then we'll solve the problem, because that's what we do here at carswithpeople2.com. I'm just trying to, was that a, no? Okay. We won't do a jingle. Okay. carswithpeople2.com. I feel like that's a familiar jingle. I know we agreed I wasn't doing a jingle, but I'm just saying, it sounds familiar. Jingle should be something you can't get out of your head, you know. So, okay. So, let's walk over here. So I've just kind of moderately set this into place. First of all, I have trimmed this edge and this edge to fit between this nose piece. It is designed to fit in the nose piece, but mine was too long. I don't know if my frame is just goofy, whatever. We've talked about the goofy frame in other things, and I think other people have confirmed that, yep, sometimes the frame's goofy. So just live with it. It's okay. It's an imperfect world we live in. We have these 3 very specifically placed holes for when I was trying to figure out how I was going to mount this radiator. And well, let's just, okay, there's no holes there anymore. So this is the issue. The way that the book, I'm going to point to it there because I like, you know, I like to point to things. Hey, there's the book. It says to, basically I'm riveting this to my radiator and also riveting it to the nose. Now, call me crazy. I didn't actually mean for you to say you're crazy, but thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you for noticing. So, 2 things. In the directions, this radiator, part of the lower mount is attaching it to the nose of the car. So this attaches to this, and this attaches to this, and also your side pieces attach to the side frame, which hold it all into place and hold your radiator where it goes. My design is the radiator is already mounted. It is where it's going to live, and it's happy there. And also, I'm not going to put any strain on any tin or the nose or anything by attaching it like they say. And I'm not putting rivets in. No, we're not doing that. So I have to figure out how to make it work for me. Now, I can put some, for instance, some foam or double-sided tape or something, you know, between here and here, just to eliminate rattle and, you know, kind of firm it up. But where it seems to want to live is right there, which of course is below where my radiator is, and honestly, doesn't look how I want it to look. So I have some extra tin that I might be able to use to fill this gap, or perhaps rivet to here, which would cover these specifically placed holes, and then bring it down beneath this and also rivet it to here. So I am attaching this to here, and then double side foam tape, whatever, here, and that will hold it. But I am not going to attach that until I start fitting my side ones and kind of see how it all, you know, you want it to aesthetically be pleasing. Yes, I mean, I want it to look good. Okay, that's okay. That's what I want. Get a dictionary. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I just wanted to show you with the particular build and the way that I'm doing it, some things that you yourself may run into, or if you've already built a car, may have run into, or not. I don't know. Just sharing my story. All right, let's see how the story plays out here. You just stand over here. Yep, right there, and don't touch anything. Okay, I'll be right back. Well, let's just take a peek, see what it looks like. Talk about the struggle. Actually, wasn't really too much of a struggle. The directions are pretty clear. You've got a fasten point down here, and then right up here. So it's not going anywhere. Its only job is really to keep debris and road spray, you know, getting up into here. Stop it. Stop it right there. That's the stopper. So we still have this gap here because I've got the next thing on the list is installing these door sills. So I've kind of saved that for last. And the fronts don't really look super pretty. So they had me putting this piece over top of this piece, but this angle here was totally wrong on this F piece. So named because it looks like an F. So this bend was too far out this way, and so nothing was lining up. This has to be pushed back and fastened here. It kind of, you know, gets close to the exhaust, but, you know, just near that edge. And then kind of comes up here and kind of doesn't seal perfectly. Whatever, you know. This car, building this car, if this is your dream, what I've learned is if you are going to exercise perfectionism and hold, you know, the kit to a very high standard, you're not going to enjoy the process. You're going to be frustrated. Now, if you're just an attention to detail person and look at it as a personal challenge to make it work and make it right, great, no problem. But you can't go into this thinking everything's going to fit perfectly, and when it does fit, it's going to be exactly how you want it. Okay? So you work with what you have. This car is about an experience. And like life, not to wax philosophical here, but it's messy and it's imperfect. So just get that wrapped in your head, and this will all make sense and you'll have a good time. So also, these inner fenders, you're never going to look at them again. Ever, ever, unless you have the wheel off for some sort of reason. They serve a purpose. I may even cover these with you know, undercoating. I may come in here and, you know, it might make it a little quieter with the ting-ting of road debris. I might be able to soften the sounds that it makes. But yeah, just saying. So this edge I had to bend back, and then the edge on this was pushed too far that way. So I put it behind so that that edge could, you know, they say you can trim this edge if you want. I don't see how that's necessary. I just did this and it works fine. So, and so then I was unsurprised on this side. I just went ahead and decreased the angle, you know, because it was sticking out this way. So I bent it this way. And then when I put this in, it just kind of relaxed into place. Got this fastened. I didn't do any trimming. It's just in how it's in. And voila. That's French, by the way, or Spanish. It's another language. It means, I actually don't know what it means. Well, that's embarrassing. I know how to use it though. Okay. Yeah, so it's in. It's good. I think I'm gonna throw the wheels on, and well, I'm gonna look at the directions first for the sills. If I need to have the wheel off to access in there or something, I'll do so. Anyway, sorry for thinking out loud. Let's do the next thing. All right. Welcome to Real World, the part of the show where real life happens. All right then. A couple of things are on my mind. Okay? First, I'm not happy with how this door is adjusted. You saw me adjusting it after I'd already adjusted it, and I'm still not happy with it. So the latch cover is brushing the door sill, and it's gonna just make, it shouldn't be touching anything. So I want to take it back off and all of that. Does not affect the driving of the car. It's just a little thing. I just adjusted the heck out of it, and then when it started touching, I was like, threw up my hands and said, I'll come back to it. So that's one thing. Two, I ended up buying another defrost trim piece for the one that I lost. The only thing I can think of is that I had garbage in my hand with that and I threw it away. That's all I can think of that happened. Thankfully, you can buy a set for $15 plus tax, plus shipping, $36 later. Anyway, the next thing is I got it off the lift and I thought, well, let me get the hood adjusted. Again, these pins were just, I wasn't happy with the way it was sitting. I want to make it so you can set the hood on and it just falls into place instead of having it weird, and then when you go to latch it, you kind of have to pull the hood over this way, and you know, you want it right. So I think I pretty much got it right. I may have to adjust the height of the pin a little bit, but it's pretty close. And then I decided to check the brake lights and the turn signals again. Now, if you recall, many moons ago, when I was wiring the whole car, I tested the lights to make sure they worked. I had brake lights, I had turn signal lights. So now I turn the lights on and the brake lights are bright, as if the brake lights are on, or the tail lights are bright, as if the brake lights are on, and my brake lights don't work. They actually don't work even with the lights off anymore. And my turn signals just kind of tick, tick, but nothing really is happening. I beat my brains out trying to well, I thought, a bad flasher. And you think this story might end with a solution. No, it's not. But this morning, while I was talking to my lovely assistant, who I'm also married to, she said, well, what have you done different between now and then? And I said, well, I wired up the light for the license plate, and then I kind of had a light bulb moment. Let's say a light bulb moment. And I thought, well, why don't I check that? You know, I can not easily, but I can disconnect that light and see if things start working again. if that's the case, well, then probably the ground that's going to that light is backfeeding somehow, and I just need to isolate that ground to the frame and not have it a part of all of the other grounds. So that's my theory. Let's see if it's what's happening. Because I really want to drive the car. I want to just get it out there. I'll feel better once it's aligned, but I just want to, the more you drive it, the more things will show up and you can fine tune and tweak and, you know, whatever. So I'm going to jump back here. Let's go back here and see if I can find the plug for this thing. And then unplug it and see what we got. Okay, first let me see if I can find the plug under here. I thought, oh yeah, there it is. I thought I maintained it. See if I can get it off. Come on, baby. Whoa, it's unplugged. Okay. All right, let's see if it made any difference at all. Lights on first. I can't tell. It looks dimmer than it was last night, but we'll see. I don't have my flasher plugged in. Okay, yeah. Stand by while I plug the flasher in. It's like, oh, it didn't work. Well, it still maybe didn't, but now I'll just put the flasher in. Flasher engaged. Nope, it's still doing it. You can see what it's doing there. It might be the flasher. Do I have brake lights? Whoops. No? No brake lights? I did test the brake light switch. So the brake light switch was functioning, and I have 12 volts to the brake light. Okay, with the lights off, it's still doing the stupid thing. I can hear this clicking. I can feel it clicking. Something is not right. So, okay. All right, plan B. I don't know what the B is, but it isn't this, because this is not plugged in at all. So I can plug that back in. I was really hoping it would be something like that. All right, back to the drawing board. Just hang out a bit. I'll let you know if I brainchild anything. Okay, well, what you didn't see in all of that nonsense was me bench testing this old relay. You know how I kept, I know, I don't know why you're standing over there either. I feel like we've talked about this before. Just hang out there a minute, because I want you to see the taillights, and then you can come in closer. So, I kept talking about maybe the relay's bad, maybe the relay's bad, but I just bought the relay. I mean, this is a quality Amazon piece. So obviously it was still going to be good. Anywho, bought another one from a local auto parts store, and came back and put it in. Well, I'll just let you see for yourself. Okay, what? There's flashing? Oh my gosh, there's flashing going on. In the front as well. Sounds healthy, wonderful. Guess what we don't have though? Brake lights. So, in all of the testing, you also may have seen that twice the brake lights flickered on and immediately went out. Don't know why. I tested the switch, and it tested good. So I'm going to keep beating my head against that wall, and I'll come up with something. Signals now work, so we've got that figured out. It's something not complicated, because I did have brake lights at one point. So maybe I've just got a short, maybe something got pinched when we put the body on. Anything could happen. So, but I can't drive it without brake lights. So this is kind of DEFCON 10. I don't know if that's a thing, but if I can get that fixed, then I can drive it. So I'm kind of hitting the rev limiter on this right now, because time is up. I have got to get back on the Chevelle. So you'll just have to find out later. Maybe you have an idea. You're just standing there, quiet as can be, and I don't, you know, maybe you have an idea, and then you could tell me. We've got no secrets here. So no idea is a bad idea, because I have a ton of them that don't work, but you still got to try them. So it's just electricity. We'll get it figured out, but it's frustrating. Anyway, yeah, we'll kind of wrap this up. I know it's sad, right? It's sad. Why do we have to stop? There should be some sort of happy ending. I'm just going to let that go, okay? Keep it clean. That's all I'm saying. Should be some kind of, you know, ending where things are concluded in a satisfactory way. But not this time. Yeah. Well, let's go grab a beer. You know, when all else fails, grab a drink, sit down, give your brain a rest, and it will figure it out, probably when you're sleeping. And then your wife will be like, why are you in the garage at 2 in the morning? Well, I just had the idea. That's because that's the way my brain works. So, well, let's go. What do you want? Nope, I'm out of that. Anything else? Yeah, I don't drink that. So it's definitely not going to be in my fridge. Sure, okay. Well, I think I have one White Claw left, I guess, since that's what you drink. That my wife left down here. So I guess you can have that one. I won't tell her. I won't tell her that you drank her last White Claw. It's none of my business. I'm just trying to be a good host, you know? Don't shoot the host. So, to recap, the Mr. F is mighty close to the road, figuratively and literally. It's very satisfying. Yeah, I can't wait to shake him down. I've got another week before, or it's actually more like 10 days before my appointment for an alignment. I will feel a lot better then. That's why I don't necessarily feel like super amount of pressure to figure the brake lights out immediately, because I've got a little bit of time. I wasn't going to do a ton of driving anyway before I got him aligned. He tracks okay. I would just feel better. I'm not wearing the tires weird or whatever. You know, tires are expensive. They're not free. Those weren't free. Holy buckets. Anyway, if you wake up in the middle of the night with just a great idea for me, keep it to yourself till the morning. That would be fine. No rush. There's no urgency. We'll get it done. We'll get it figured out. So I'm just glad that you're hanging out with me. You know I joke about it. You know, I may seem I treat you badly sometimes, but you know, you can take it. You have a thick skin. I mean, seem to. We all need to have thicker skins, you know? Let's just have a good time. So that's it. That is it for this episode. We're going to try to leave this on a high note, and cheers. You know, there's a high note. And next time, we'll probably be working on this beautiful blue car behind me. And I will try to fit work in on Mr. F as I can, and we'll get a whole episode strung together on him just as soon as I have a whole episode to string together. But for now, back on Mr. E. So it's all fun. Any day you can work on cars, work on your own projects, help a friend with their project, it's a good day, you know. Even as frustrated as I get, I'm getting frustrated doing something I love. So that beats getting frustrated doing something I hate or am ambivalent about. So anyway, once again, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time on CarsArePeople2.com. Well, I had to try.